Swadika, very good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nabunak.
I'm Frank Kanshi.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you for 2 weeks.
New weather, I think new background right now tonight, and we'll make it more, I think, energetic in a way.
Exactly, and we'll just let you know again, in case you've just joined us today, is that we've decided to make some changes to Thai PBS World Tonight. We will still talk about the top stories and what's happening in Thailand, but in a more relaxed yet energetic form.
Yeah, and 2-week break actually from everything. I was in Singapore, something happened to my eyes, and now something happened to the politics too in Thailand.
Exactly, and that is the big story for today because Prime Minister Paetongtarn is suspended from her duties over the leaked phone call with Hun Sen, which has caused shockwaves both in Thailand and in Cambodia and also around the world. The Constitutional Court has accepted a petition filed against Paetongtarn and has suspended her from duty over a recent phone call with Hun Sen. And the petition was filed by a group of 36 senators who accuse her of gross ethical misconduct and dishonesty in connection with the call. The court unanimously agreed to accept the petition and also ruled by a 7-2 majority to suspend her from performing her duties as the Prime Minister effective immediately and until a final decision is reached. In the court statement issued after the ruling, it was noted that the petitioners submitted the complaint against Paetongtarn following the circulation of an audio clip on June 18th featuring a conversation between Paetongtarn and Hun Sen. The clip was also broadcast by the media, and Paetongtarn later confirmed at a press conference that the voices heard during the clip were indeed hers and Hun Sen's. She even stated that it was a private phone conversation intended as a form of soft diplomatic negotiation to maintain peace and protect Thai sovereignty. The petitioners argue, however, that the actions were negligent and were a failure of her official duty, including the absence of clear measures or direct accountability in conducting foreign negotiations, which are expected as a prime minister. They also further allege that her conduct stemmed from a personal and one-sided relationship with Cambodia and that she appeared to be prepared to be overly compliant with Cambodia's demands. And from here, Paetongtarn has 15 days to provide the information, evidence, and also the witnesses in defense towards the allegation. But apart from the petition that was filed to the Constitutional Court, there are still petitions in 3 other places, whether it's the NACC, the Election Commission, and also the police. And for that petition to the police, they actually accuse her of harming national security. So that is a very harsh offense. And following the court's decision, Paetongtarn held a press conference saying that she respects the court's decision and that her real intention was actually to protect the country and to ensure peace and stability. So let's have a listen to what she had to say.
คำวินิจฉัยออกมาแล้วนะคะดิฉันก็ขอน้อมรับนะคะคำพิจารณาของศาลนะคะแล้วก็ต่อจากนี้ก็จะมีได้หยุดปฏิบัติหน้าที่ใช่ไหมคะมีเวลาประมาณ15 วันที่จะชี้แจงนะคะความตั้งใจเจตนาจริงๆเกิน 100% เนี่ยว่าดิฉันตั้งใจทำเพื่อประเทศชาติเพื่อรักษาไว้ซึ่งอธิปไตยของเราเพื่อรักษาไว้ซึ่งชีวิตของกองทัพของทหารทุกๆคนเพื่อสันติภาพนะคะที่จะเกิดขึ้นในประเทศของเราเจตนาไม่มีอยากได้อะไรของตัวเองเลยนะคะแล้วก็คิดอย่างเดียวว่าทำยังไงที่จะไม่ให้เกิดความวุ่นวายทำยังไงที่จะไม่ต้องสู้รบกันทหารไม่ต้องเสียเลือดเสียเนื้อนะคะเพราะที่ฉันเองก็คงรับไม่ได้ถ้าพูดอะไรกับทางผู้นำและทำให้เกิดผลเสียเกิดการทะเลาะหรือเกิดการโกรธเคืองนะคะอันนั้นก็เป็นความตั้งใจจริงๆถ้าลองฟังดูจริงๆก็จะเข้าใจว่าไม่ได้มีเจตนาร้ายอะไรนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นก็อันนี้คือสิ่งที่ตั้งใจแล้วก็จะใช้เวลาที่สามารถชี้แจงได้เนี่ยชี้แจงให้ได้อย่างครบถ้วน
Right, so now we got the news story that Thailand's Prime Minister Paetongtarn has been suspended by the Constitutional Court. And right now, the acting Prime Minister candidate is Suryat Tengrurenggit, the Deputy Prime Minister and Transport Minister here. He will also lead the new Cabinet Minister and those who change position to attend a swearing-in ceremony before His Majesty the King this Thursday. An informed government source pointed out that it should have been Paetongtarn Pichai to be the first in line to succeed Paetongtarn as the acting Prime Minister. However, in the new cabinet line-up, Paetongtarn's post as Deputy Prime Minister and Defense Minister had ended and restated as Deputy Prime Minister and Interior Minister. And since Paetongtarn has not yet taken an oath before the king, like the other new ministers, he cannot perform his duties yet as Deputy Prime Minister and Interior Minister. Hence, the role of the acting Prime Minister falls on Suryat, the other Deputy Prime Minister. The sources say that this is the first political incident when a Prime Minister was suspended from performing duties while a new cabinet is yet to function pending the oath-taking ceremony. However, it is uncertain whether Paetongtarn can still continue as the culture minister or not. So, actually, Annette, I think Paetongtarn is quite smart. This is a full-out position or choice for Paetongtarn, as in right now. Of course, she has been suspended. Cultural minister there for her to still stay in the cabinet. But right now, the possibility is not certain yet. What do you think about the political change? You know, I was in Singapore last week. I was also watching all the news story involving at this moment. It changed very fast, as in the political conflicts come in.
It changes very quickly, but with the decision that has been made today, wasn't it expected to begin with? Everyone already thought that Paetongtarn would be suspended as a prime minister. It's over the leaked phone call with Hun Sen. So many of the political analysts have felt that it's obvious she will be suspended anyway, but then what will happen now? And after Suryat becomes the acting prime minister, it's not quite certain at the moment, and you can see that there is a huge political turbulence here. So all of a sudden, Paetongtarn has been suspended. Now Suryat becomes the acting prime minister. What about the policies that will be implemented from now on? And then it would be so difficult to imagine right now. When we think of the cabinet meetings, Prime Minister Paetongtarn would be like right here, and then all the other ministers are like on the sides of the table. But imagine Suryat being the acting prime minister and Paetongtarn at the end as the culture minister. It's going to be so awkward, isn't it? Yeah,
it would look so absurd in a way, as in, of course, Paetongtarn was the prime minister before, and right now acting prime minister is Suryat. But I think, of course, what Paetongtarn said to the media before she left the parliament house or the government house there, and she just said that, okay, actually, I did it 100% for national interest, no personal agenda, and no personal agenda, of course, in the league call with Hun Sen. But actually, we got another side, actually, is member of parliament of People's Party, or Orange Party, we call that, Sirikanya Dasakun. She does not agree with Constitutional Court's decision because she thinks that Thai citizens has the capability to decide their own prime minister. So the dissolving parliament is the only way for her.
Exactly. Many people have been saying that the parliament dissolution and paving the way for the next election would be the best way out for the Paetongtarn administration. Like, I had a chance to talk to some of the political analysts, and they felt that this is not only the best way out for the country, but it's also the best in order to revive her personal image, especially when she considers herself to be a new leader of the next generation. Then if she does keep to the promises to her voters, then why not?
And some political analysts also said the same, that culture minister actually suits her capability, as in she always pushes for
Soft power.
Her flagship policy, as in, of course, all the time since she took the seat of Prime Minister, no matter where she goes, where she has been, always talk about soft power. Remember in Davos,
in Davos,
that forum, very important. So many international leaders and country leaders there, including, of course, Malaysia Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. He was there too. He talked about geopolitics, but our Prime Minister always talk about soft power. So soft power, of course, is important, but maybe Culture Minister suits her at the end.
Exactly, because she has been very active when it comes to talking about soft power, talking about Thai culture, and pushing for Thai elements on the world stage. This is the only thing that she has been talking about. Like, let's admit it. For the past 6 months in office, that is all she has been talking about, soft power, and only here and there about geopolitics and the digital wallet scheme, because
that has been suspended.
How many of the policies that have been suspended under the Paetongtarn administration?
A lot, because we always talk about economic stimulus. I think, of course, I mean, on economy and business here. Digital wallet scheme or that universal cash handout will really help Thai citizens in a way.
But it has been suspended because they have to prioritize the trade talks with the US, which is, right now, it has been scheduled for July 3rd. So we'll have to wait and see, especially now that we have a new cabinet lineup. And since we're talking about the new cabinet lineup, now let's have a look at who will get one of the portfolios, especially those that have been left vacant by the Phumchai Thai Party. But interestingly enough, no one has been appointed as the Minister of Defense yet.
It's very important seat, I think, for the cabinet seat here, because it's kind of like a power struggle. Because in the coalition party, there we still see some pro-military party there. So who will control the Minister of Defense? That will be important.
Exactly, but according to this new lineup, Phumtham Wechayachai will become the Deputy Prime Minister and Interior Minister, and this is different from her previous portfolio where he was the Defense Minister, but now he's the Interior Minister instead of Phumchai Thai Party leader Anutin Charnvirakul, who actually left the coalition because of the power struggle between Pichai and the Phumchai Thai Party. It's actually all of the ministers from the Phumchai Thai Party have already left. So the Interior Ministry, the Labor Ministry, and the Higher Education Ministry, they're all left vacant. But according to this new lineup, there are several changes. Another change that we have seen is former Agriculture Minister Narumon Pinyosinwat is now moved to the education portfolio. And we also have many of the new faces here, such as Suchat Tancharan, who becomes the Prime Minister's Office Minister, and Sudawan Wang Supakit Goson, who's formerly the Cultural Minister, now is the Minister of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovations, replacing a Phumchai Thai member. And Athakon Siri Lathayakon also becomes the Agriculture Minister. He's also a new face in the cabinet. Jatuporn Burutpat is now the Commerce Minister. Chantawit Tantasit becomes the Deputy Commerce Minister. Det Khao Thong, who's the former Deputy Public Health Minister, has now moved to the Deputy Interior Minister. There are also other new faces like Pongkawin Jeung Rungrungkit, who now becomes the Labor Minister, replacing Pipat Rashikit Prakan of the Phumchai Thai Party. Lintipor Warin Wachararod becomes the Deputy Education Minister, also a new face in the cabinet. Thewan Lipta Palot becomes the Deputy Education Minister. Anusha Sasomsap becomes the Deputy Public Health Minister, and Chaichana Dedesho also becomes the Deputy Public Health Minister. These two are actually the new faces in the cabinet. But surprisingly, like we just said before, there is no new defense minister at the moment. And so that means there's no one replacing Phumtham at the moment. But as for now, based on reports, the current Deputy Minister of Defense, General Nattapon Nakpani, will become the acting minister as of now. But there are a few rumors that have been circulating for the past few days is that the reason why the defense minister portfolio has been left vacant is because they are actually waiting for a former commander-in-chief. His name is General Chalermpon Srisawat. He is waiting for him to take the defense portfolio. And the reason why he cannot be appointed right now is because he used to be a senator before. So the thing is, if he was a senator before, based on the law, if a senator's term expires, he cannot take any of the political positions for another 2 years. So right now, General Chalermpon's gap will count as 2 years in the next 3 months. So in the next 3 months, he might be considered for the portfolio. So this is actually one of the latest updates in terms of the defense portfolio at the moment. And the ministers who have not been named in the Royal Gazette earlier this morning will remain in their posts. And that includes Surya Jungrungrunkit, who is the Deputy Prime Minister and Transport Minister, Pirapat Sali Rathawipak, the Deputy Prime Minister and Energy Minister, Pichai Chunha Washira of the Finance Minister, who also retains his post. Prasert Jantararongtong is still the Digital Economy and Society Minister. And there are many other ministers that have retained their posts, including Tawi Sotsong, who's the Justice Minister as well. So what do you think about this new lineup?
Yeah, I think for a minister, Marie Samyangpom, there it's very important to stay on the seat because as what we always talk about in different programs that geopolitical issues, no matter it's Iran, Israel, or even with US, that diplomacy between two countries or bloc-to-bloc relations there, we need a very expert and sophisticated diplomacy of course, officials there, and of course, Marie Samyangpom, the very important one. Pichai Chunha Wachirat, wow.
Yeah.
This is another important position, as in Pichai Chunha Wachirat, also always leading that trade negotiation with the United States. So right now we see him on the seat now. So it means that, okay, we still have stable development for the trade negotiation with the US, especially 3rd July, we're going to see that negotiation heading towards next level again. Right now it's at the technical level, and we want to see that tariff going down from 36% to 10-ish% there.
Exactly.
But
and
one name, key name, Pichai Narithapan.
Oh yeah, Pichai Narithapan is no longer the minister.
Yeah, Commerce Minister.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising though. And now it has... I think he has been replaced by Jatuporn Burupot, who is actually a new face in the cabinet. So we'll have to wait and see how they will actually proceed with the underlying policies to improve trade and investment.
Yeah, and the reason why I mentioned Pichai Narithapan because Pichai Narithapan led Commerce Ministry for a while. And she led the team to really lead for FTA agreement with Bhutan. And yesterday, actually, we called it kind of like a farewell talk for Pichai Narithapan because he just attended EABC or European Chambers luncheon yesterday. And I was there too, fortunately, to see this historical moment there because he talked a lot of development about Thailand's trade relations, no matter it's FTA with Bhutan already signed. Right now, we are going to push forward for UAE, UK, and other blocs too. Of course, EU. So EU FTA just finished the 6th negotiation last week. Very good, I think, development, no matter it's about trade agreement. And right now, we're getting to a very difficult part, opening market, trade negotiation, and what about the law there? Trade law is very important. So,
exactly.
Pichai Narithapan, very important figure in Thailand's trade relations here. As in, like he pointed out so many figures there yesterday. about how Thailand really grows a lot in terms of export. No matter the PCB hub, we call it printed circuit board. Actually, of course, we got a lot of investment from Taiwan, as Taiwanese companies are really the main manufacturer for PCB, and Thailand could be the hub for Taiwan. FTA, EU, as what I say, EU, UAE, UK at this moment. But now, the instant change of the government might really affect that development in terms of economy, because FTA is not just, especially with EU, it's not just FTA, it's not just about trade, it's about human rights, it's about law, regulation, it's about development, the stability in the government. That's what EU, you understand EU, very developed bloc. They want to see these values in Thailand's economy. So do we have that value for EU to really convince them that, okay, we can sign the FTA together because we have these criteria with us? This is a big question mark there. And Pichai and Paetongtarn also say that there's a date for us, very important date for everyone, Christmas. So Christmas, we might see that EU-Thailand FTA completed, but actually I got one source from EU that we might not see that, because that's a very fast expectation. So we might see that maybe next April, but that's what the sources say. Don't blame on me. So Pichai and Paetongtarn still, or TTR2, Thailand Trade Office, Representative Office, push that for your target, but this is what the source said from the EU.
Well, even though there are changes in the commerce portfolio, at least Pichai has made significant accomplishments. It's the signing of FTAs with many other countries, like you just named them. It's like, that is a big success for Pichai in a way, because normally we don't get to see FTAs being signed so frequently during his tenure.
Yeah, but still, when the ministerial position changed, it might be some change under the development, the departments, no matter it's Thailand Trade Office there or other technical level officials there might be some change. So if there's some changes during the negotiation, it means that delay, it means that postponement, it means that Thailand cannot match the schedule that different blocks already target at, no matter it's for EU FTA or EU US tariff negotiation there. Deadline is coming. We're going to see that coming very fast.
And the investments as well, because I think political stability is one of the key points that actually help them decide whether they should actually continue with the trade negotiations or investments or not. So with sudden changes in the government, I think many countries would be scratching their heads.
But don't worry. Of course, we already see BOI, Board of Investment of Thailand, give us a very good amount of FTI in Q1, Q2 2025. Now, we still have get some FTI, new FTI coming in, but amid regional competitions, Vietnam, Malaysia trying to go over our position, Thailand's position in the region. Key to see that.
So the big question from now on is the future of Thai politics after Paetongtarn has been suspended from her duties, and what will happen with the policies that have been initiated, and how will this affect the economy, business, and trade and investment as well. And also, how will people actually perceive the country from now on? So this is something that we will still have to find out.
And don't forget that World Bank already revealed Thailand's GDP under 2% this year.
Yes, and this is not surprising, but this is not something that we want to see. Slow economic growth with only just 1-something%. That's not looking good, because if you look at other ASEAN countries, they're projecting at 5%, 6%, or at least 4%, but we're only at 1%.
So what does that mean? Ramifications for Thailand's economy amid these uncertainties in international relations and politics too. I really love this concept actually, Ned, the new concept to talk together.
We get to talk more and discuss more. And not necessary to criticize more, but we will become more conversational, more relaxed, but still energetic as we tell you and report to you what has been happening in Thailand, whether it's politics, business, or even in society as a whole as well.
Right.
All right, and that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. And don't forget to follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest stories and analyses about Thailand. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ